Hey y'all, I'm Mandy and this is Mandy in the Making. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another What's for Dinner. I'm gonna make 3 really easy meals for you. We are filming this first one on Tuesday, which is technically in our house Taco Tuesday, and we thought we would find a recipe that was kind of like a taco-like recipe. This is a Tex Mex Chicken Skillet. It sounds really good. It's very, very simple. We're gonna be making it in the cast iron skillet on the stove, and then it's gonna finish up in the oven. Okay, to get started, I'm just gonna chop up an onion and shred some cheese. There's not a lot of chopping in this recipe, which I appreciate. Try something. Did you see this in my comments the other day?
I did.
Okay, we're gonna try it.
What is it?
Okay, so I've got a paper towel. I just wet it. It's really balled up and I can't get it undone. And this is supposed to take the sting out of the onion so your eyes don't water. So I'm just gonna put it right here next to it and we'll see if it works, because I am super sensitive to an onion.
So is it working so far?
So far, so good.
All right. So, whole onion chopped.
No tears, which is huge for
Wow.
me. Yeah. So yeah, do this trick right here. That's amazing. We need about 1 cup of shredded cheese. This is Monterey Jack. Now we're gonna prepare our dry rub for the chicken. I've got half a teaspoon of chili powder, garlic powder, and cumin. We're also gonna add some salt and pepper in here. I'm gonna season both sides of all of our chicken. This 12-inch cast iron skillet. I'm going to heat it to medium high. I'm going to add some olive oil to the bottom of our skillet. So we are just searing the chicken right now. It's going to finish cooking in the oven later. We're going to leave it on here for 3 or 4 minutes on each side. I'm wearing my newest Grace and Cotton t-shirt. I love her t-shirts. She hand draws her designs and most of her designs are faith-based. I really appreciate that. So if you've never checked out her website, I'll have it linked below, and if you use the code MANDY10, it will get you 10% off. So now that it's seared on both sides, we're going to remove it and just set it on this plate and do the other 2.
Add a little bit more oil.
Yeah. We're going to be serving tonight's dinner with chips and salsa. This is my second time making homemade salsa. You got to go check out the video. If you didn't see Tuesday's video, I've got the recipe in there and it is so incredibly easy and so tasty. Okay, now that we've removed our chicken, we're gonna add in our onions and saute those. This will only take a couple of minutes. We're gonna add in this 10 ounces of diced tomatoes and green chilies. This can of diced green chilies. About 2 cups of corn. 1 can of black beans that we drained and rinsed. I'm gonna zest this lime. Now we're just gonna put in the juice of this lime. And we're gonna add in about 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika. turn this back up just a little bit. We had turned it down. But we want this to simmer for a couple of minutes before we add a little more salt and pepper. And then we're gonna add our chicken back in. I'm gonna add in just a little more salt and pepper. I'll go ahead and actually turn this off. Let's add our chicken back in. And now we're just gonna top it with our cheese. This is about to go in a 400-degree oven for about 15 minutes, just long enough to let the chicken continue to cook and finish cooking. And then we're gonna eat, y'all.
About some Tex Mex Tuesday.
Tex Mex Tuesday.
Okay.
So you found this recipe.
I did.
Steven found it and he sent it to me. He was like, we should make that.
Let's try this chicken here.
Yes.
Cole says yes.
Yep.
Got that kick of that chili powder and the citrus flavor of the cumin. Got the smokiness of that paprika. Really, really, really good. The cheese doesn't add too much to this.
Okay.
Because the flavors are kind of like a punch in the mouth, you know?
Yeah.
They're like really, really bold and very pronounced. Chicken is cooked really good.
What if you dip it in that salsa? Get a little bit of salsa in there with it. Is that the magic touch?
Man! We're going to have to add some of this on here. That salsa, wow. That is amazing. That salsa is so good.
It really is.
Oh, can't keep my stuff here. Mmm.
This is so good. And this is really good by itself, don't get me wrong. But then you throw this in the mix. This is like our new favorite thing. I'm probably gonna make this at least once a week.
What?
Mm-hmm.
The salsa?
The salsa.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. It's so good. Oh my goodness. Y'all have to give this one a try. And please, please, please make the salsa. Okay, I know it's only the second meal in this video, but tonight is Subbie Supper night. So tonight is supposed to be super rainy here. Hurricane or tropical storm Elsa is supposed to be coming through, not directly here, but we're supposed to be getting a lot of rain from it. And I have to keep reminding myself it's rain that we're getting and not snow. It's named Elsa. So every time I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh, we're getting snow tonight. But we're not. It's July though. But since we are getting rain tonight, I figured it would be a good soup night. I love soup all throughout the year, but it's really hard to take on super hot sunny days. It's just not something that you kind of crave. But since we're having a rainy night, I thought soup would be good. So that's why I'm moving our Subbie Supper to tonight, because it is a white chicken chili. Okay, our Subbie Supper today comes from Samantha. Samantha and her family live in Northern Virginia, just about 20 minutes outside of DC. She and her hubby have been married for 12 years. They have 2 kiddos, a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old. And she said this recipe is one of her favorites. She has made it a ton of times, and she did mention that it does freeze well. So if that's something that would be helpful to you, there you go. Oh, and as far as freezing, she puts all of the ingredients together in a Ziploc bag and freezes it. doesn't cook it yet and then just throws it, I guess, in the crock pot. I'll talk about that in a second when she's ready. It is a 5-ingredient white chicken chili, which I like. The original recipe that she sent me uses like rotisserie chicken, so you could have it ready in 10 to 15 minutes on the stove. I mean, it's that simple. But I didn't want to just get a rotisserie chicken just for this recipe, so I'm just going to do what she does, and I'm just going to put it in the crock pot with just some raw chicken breasts, and then I will shred those at the end of the day. So thank you, Samantha, for sharing this one with me. I love white chicken chili, and we haven't had it in a while, and I've never made it quite this way with this one particular ingredient. Let me flip you around and show you what I'm talking about. So this is the remainder of the chicken that we had from last night. I just put it in this quart-size bag and put it in the fridge because I knew we'd be using it today. So I've got 2 large chicken breasts here. We're gonna need this ingredient. This is the one I was talking about that's a little bit different. It's salsa verde. I'm gonna use this entire container. A couple of cans of Great Northern beans, some cumin, and this whole container of chicken broth. I am gonna drain these Great Northern beans. Okay, the first thing I'm gonna do is throw our chicken breasts in. Now on top of that, I'm gonna throw in our beans. The recipe calls for 2 teaspoons of cumin. I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. That's pretty much what I have left in the bottom of this container. I don't know if you can tell. There's not a whole lot left. I need to add this to my grocery list. Yep, I just dumped the rest of it in there. This entire jar of salsa verde. And the recipe online called for 6 cups of chicken broth, but she uses 4 cups, and I saw in the comment section on the recipe, I'm gonna share something about that in a second, but a lot of people only used 4 cups, so I'm just gonna use this one container, which is 4 cups. Okay, we're gonna cook this on high for 3 or 4 hours. I'm gonna put it on for 3.5 hours and just check it at that point. We'll come in and shred the chicken at the end. Let me pop the lid on. Okay, so that's gonna cook all afternoon. We'll be back this evening to do our taste test, but I wanted to share this with you really quickly. A lot of people ask, do you ever make things that Stephen doesn't like? And the answer is yes, of course, but it's very, very rare, and it's not because I'm some exceptional cook. It's just because I do my research when it comes to recipes. So if I find a recipe that sounds good, I'll take a look at it, and I'll look at its reviews and all of the comments in there. And I kind of bypass the comments that say, oh, this sounds good, I'll have to try it. But I go to the comments of people who have actually tried it. And if I see a theme running in there where several people said the same thing, I take note of that. I also go and research and find another similar recipe and see which one I think I would like best, if that makes sense. So I know it takes a little extra time when you are trying to look for a new recipe. That's one of the reasons why I do these videos, is to help you with that, so that we find the best of the best and we only show y'all what we really like. So there's that. But if you're looking for it on your own, do a little extra legwork, read the reviews, look at several recipes, not just one particular site, and kind of find what works best for you. Okay, it has been 3.5 hours. Whew. We're gonna pull our chicken out and shred it. Okay, let's add this back in.
My all-time favorite chili.
White chicken chili.
Love white chicken chili. It's really good. I've never had it with avocado though, so.
So this has salsa verde in it. I've never put that in white chicken chili. Usually I just put green chilies diced up in there.
But they're not in there?
No,
Really?
no.
Wow. That's really good.
Is it?
Yeah.
How do you like that avocado with it too? Yeah. Cole isn't here tonight, so we don't get to, we don't get his thumbs up, but he wouldn't be able to add the avocado and he wouldn't want to add the cilantro, but.
Yeah. Well, this is really, really, really good. I definitely like the salsa verde. I never would have guessed that's salsa verde in there.
Yeah,
That's really
interesting,
good.
right?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna give this a try. I'm excited. Well, y'all, this one is a really great one. I had my doubts just because there were so few ingredients, but this is not lacking in flavor at all. It is so good.
Yeah.
I really like that you could just use rotisserie chicken if you wanted to and have dinner ready in like 15 minutes, or you can throw it in the crock pot like I did and let it cook all day. This was perfect.
What I like about this particular recipe is the fact that it's soupy. I love having
The broth.
I love having this broth. Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so. I don't think you should try to thicken this up. I've had some thick white chicken chili before, like I think it's the McCormick's.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
And it's good.
Yeah, it's good, and it's creamy, and I like the creaminess too. But I like this version. I like the soup. I don't know. I just think it's a nice little twist on this.
It
for sure.
is. It's really good.
Love it.
Okay, y'all, it is our third meal of the week. Tonight we are having something I'm really excited about because it combines two things that we really love. It combines Sloppy Joe's and shepherd's pie. This is Sloppy Joe shepherd's pie. Okay, so we've already got green beans going on the stove. If you're new here and you don't know my green bean recipe, I will link it below. It is so good. And now I am prepping our potatoes. I'm gonna be making mashed potatoes to go on top of the shepherd's pie, of course. And I'm just gonna make them in the Instant Pot. The recipe calls for a yellow onion. I had one left, but it looked pretty rotten. It did not look good. So I had the rest of this red onion left. So that's what we're gonna do. Oh, I forgot to get the paper towel.
Oh boy.
And I can tell. The recipe calls for 1 clove of garlic, but we all know how that goes in this house. For this recipe, you're gonna want cheddar cheese and Monterey Jack, about a cup of each.
You got this?
I got it.
I get the small one.
Okay, so I've got my large cast iron skillet. This is gonna just transfer into the oven. If you don't have a cast iron skillet or one that can go straight into the oven, you can always just put it in like a 9x13 pan when you're done. But I'm gonna turn it on to medium-high heat. Let that heat up. Okay, now that our bacon grease has completely melted, let's add in some garlic. Okay, you only want to let this go for like a minute or two, and you're just basically seasoning your grease, your oil, whatever it is that you've got in here. Now we're going to add in our onion. We're just going to saute this for a couple of minutes. Now we're going to add in a pound of ground beef. This is done cooking. Now let's add in some more ingredients. I've got about 1/4 cup of ketchup. We're gonna add in a tablespoon of the Dove sauce. And 1/2 tablespoon of light brown sugar. We're gonna mix this together and let it simmer for about 5 minutes. Let's turn this off. I'm gonna, where's my thingy?
That thing?
That thingy. Let's make this into an even layer.
Okay.
Now I've got a couple of cups of corn. This was frozen corn. I did defrost it in the microwave. We're gonna add a layer of that. Now we're gonna layer our mashed potatoes on top. That's an onion. And lastly, we're gonna add our cheese all over the top. I've got my oven preheated to 350. This is gonna go in for 15 to 20 minutes.
How do you come up with all this stuff? Sloppy Joe.
I didn't come up with it. Pinterest came up with it.
Sloppy Joe shepherd's pie. Wow. Yes, that is really good. Potatoes are really creamy and cheesy, and you get that good Sloppy Joe flavor of the meat.
Yeah.
Just a hint of that. What do you call it? I guess the ketchup with the Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah, like the Sloppy Joe mixture, yeah.
Sloppy Joe mixture, and just a little hint of that. Definitely a good spin on shepherd's pie, I think.
Very important, 2 thumbs up. Let's see what I think. Okay, so this is very good, but we have a recommendation to make this even better. I think you need to double the sauce for the Sloppy Joe mixture on the bottom. I feel like it just needs a hint more of that because you can taste it, but I feel like it's still, I don't know, it's like so subtly there. I would want more of that. So if you make this, double the sauce on the bottom, and I think it'll be perfect. Okay, y'all, that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed this week's What's for Dinner. Let me know below if you plan on trying any or maybe all of these recipes. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you haven't already. And I would love for you to join my YouTube family. Before you leave, hit that red subscribe button. Thanks, y'all. I'll see you next time. Here's the bloopers. I knew you were going to turn the camera on.
Hey, where's my cheese?
So now let's do a dry rub on our chicken. I've got a half a teaspoon.
She don't like it. She don't like her. Don't let her fool her.
Teenagers. Is that bird in the garage? It has to be. Yep.
You go out?
Yeah, did you hear it stop? Some big chicken.
Shake.
You always make me nervous.
I'm sorry.
Because you get right there and I'm like, oh gosh, I'm gonna make a huge mistake.
Just don't cut your finger off.
That would be a huge mistake.
Yeah, that'd be huge.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Yeah. Come here.
What?
Look down. Just wanted to do that.
I thought I had something on me or something, but you can't stand it. You have to touch the top knot.
I just wanted to touch the top knot. Say what now?
I said we're gonna saute the garlic in the bacon grease.
Oh man, those are some words I love to hear.
Why are you gonna turn it on when I'm scratching my nose?
I don't know.
Thanks.
Look at them britches.
Look, it's got a little fuzzy ball on the back.
Whoa! Whoa!
I can't stand it.
Whoa!